Hello, everyone. My name is Rose Simpson. I'm a librarian at the New Haven Free Public Library, and welcome to Co-Create. We are here with our creative in residence, Nadine Nelson, and today's special guest is Julia Gambali. Would you two like to introduce yourselves?
Yes. Hi, I'm Nadine Nelson. I am the chef, owner, artist of Global Local Gourmet, and I am the creative in residence. Also, I am happy to be here. Co-create is a time for myself and another creative to partake in artwork, whatever I am working on at the time, and whatever the creative wants to share about their process. I usually don't introduce the other creative. I usually say how I know them. And so I've known Julia, I guess, almost 10 years.
I feel like it's like 10 years. Yeah.
Yeah, almost 10 years. And we met at the Grove, which used to be a co-working space, one of the original and first co-working spaces in America, and has been voted like top 10 co-working space. And it is now closed, but it has morphed into another place down the street in New Haven, Connecticut, called Known, and I'm sure she can talk about that. She is a social media maven, and she is creative beyond measure. She does lots of different things that are creative, including belly dancing. She is a patron and supporter of myself and the library and so many other people. She's a fellow Libra, and she's one of the few people that in the world that I can say that I don't think too many people have anything bad to say about Julia, because she's just a really nice and very beautiful human being.
I gotta start crying. Thank you. Oh my gosh, what an introduction. I am super happy to be here. As you know, because I'm always popping on and saying hello, I love what you're doing as creative in residence at the library. And you know that I love when you bring projects together. And speaking of belly dancing, I was just remembering how one occasion at the Eli, was it the Eli Contemporary?
Eli Center for Contemporary Art.
Center for Contemporary Art. Thank you for helping me out with that one. And there were two occasions, one where you did the food mandala, and I ran right over to make a food mandala, and you had made some like lovely salads as well. And then the other time, which I really, really, really loved, was I think you did, it was like a goddess thing, because, and then I did belly dancing. I did like a belly dancing session.
Yes, I think it was like channeling your inner goddess, or
yeah,
it's something to do with like femininity and womanhood, because it went with the Our Body Ourselves exhibit. And my thing was Kitchen Sanctum, but it was celebrating women of different stages in their life and different roles that they play.
Yeah, and it was just so much fun because and I've been thinking that I wanted to start teaching again, or leading belly dancing again. I guess we'll start for me on that topic, because it's really something. I just remember it's like as we were warming up, right? And you do warm up so that you can kind of loosen up your muscles, relax your shoulders, move your head around, see what, we usually tighten our bodies up as women for whatever reasons. We tighten our stomachs, our shoulders kind of go up against our ears and that sort of thing. And so just loosening up, and in that process, then we start doing like little movements, like little arm, like an arm just kind of moving like a wave, and kind of rolling shoulders and moving your head around. And then like within 20 minutes, we're like, okay, here we are, we're dancing now. So I like the way that happens. And I want to start doing it again. And lately, one of the things definitely during these pandemic times is I kind of like push all my furniture around, and I really want to dance. So that's what I do. And I get dressed up and I dance.
Are you going to introduce yourself?
Did I? I didn't.
No,
I
you
just wanted
didn't.
to talk to him like immediately. I thought you did a good job introducing me.
Well, no, you have to introduce your, like your brand and all that. Hello.
Okay. So hello, and my name is Julia Gambali. I am, as I think Rose and Nadine had said, a social media maven. My company that I co-own is Agents of Branding. So I do branding and online communications for small businesses, for creatives, and for nonprofit. I also, my very first business was She's So Social. So I was doing a lot of mainly online communications in the social media space and doing consulting, kind of some hand holding, especially I've had that business since 2009. So that's when the social media platforms were really starting to come about. So there was a lot of hand holding there and consulting. I am also a belly dancer. I've been belly dancing for 20 years. I run Digital Media Sync Tuesday mornings at 8:30. I've been doing that for 10 years as well. And that's just basically a free conversation that runs every Tuesday, 8:30 to 9:30. And it's on everything that has to do with online platforms. What else do I do? Oh, and then I'm at Known Co-working, and not only am I a member of Known Co-working, but I'm part of the program team that runs the Knownpreneur Entrepreneur Cohort. So basically what that is right now is 16 weeks of instruction and mentorship and networking and peer-to-peer networking. And actually that actually went on today from 8 to 10 a.m. We have 13 businesses that we're working with. And we're more than halfway through with that particular project with the first cohort. So we're making plans for cohort number 2. So that's the other thing I'm kind of been busy with.
That's great. Like, what are some of the businesses that are being co-created or you're helping to, blossom here?
Yeah, so I kind of do the behind the scenes stuff, but I've also done 2 classes so far, and then I'm going to run another class next week. And do you know Vegan Ahava Perea?
No.
She's in the program. Vegan Ahava is on, it's 129 Court Street, I believe. So it's right around the corner from Known Co-working. And she also has a truck as well. And she makes just really, really, really wonderful vegan food. There's also, we're working with businesses and entrepreneurs that have come out of collab.
Okay.
So some of them are like, for example, T. Montgomery, Threads by T. And so he's a designer, clothing designer. Kwan is another one who is a clothing designer as well. There's Alana Ladson Art. So she produces art that's specifically for and by Black people. So there's she has a website there. There's people who are in the wellness industry, in the health industry. I'm trying to think if I'm missing anybody.
That's good.
Yeah, so there's
people
a lot,
know, like, just so people know about it, and then know, like, also like the diversity of businesses that you're helping to cultivate in the New Haven ecosystem. I think that important.
And right now the focus is definitely on BIPOC businesses. So we were really very careful about that, and also making sure that, you know, there's certain certifications, there's certain resources that are available that oftentimes people don't know about.
Yeah.
So we've curated our resources very carefully to address um, you know, every aspect. And then there's also a well-being aspect as well.
And what does that entail?
So that's basically how to, I think it's the second to last class of the 16-week class series. And it's basically just being, you know, making sure that you take care of yourself, you know, because you're the first person you have to take care of, you know, and especially when you're running a business. Some of our entrepreneurs are parents as well, and you know, you and I know being parents and running a business and just taking care of life, um, you know, that's quite a bit.
Yeah. And then also just showing up, like I was saying to I do office hours on Tuesday. And I was
Yeah,
saying to one of my like clients that they have to make sure that they show up like energetically, like feel good,
right.
you know, because you
Yep.
can want to like do all these different things, but then, you know, the way that they look and the way that they are embodied,
Hmm.
they're not looking their best, they're not feeling their best, and then they're like, oh, I haven't got enough clients. Well, I mean, people are running off the energy that you project,
That
so
you project, yeah, for
you
sure.
feel like, oh, it's like I don't have time for self-care. You have to put that as part of your business, because then you see
Hmm.
that when you feel good about yourself and you're glowing and all of that, that it's not something that is a frivolous thing, it's something that helps you
Yeah,
in your business.
it does. It's like, you know, when lately I've really been wanting to dress up. I've been playing with like being creative with my hair. You know, I colored it purple, but like, you know, it's shiny. I've been, yeah, because when we feel good about ourselves, when we're happy with ourselves, when we drink plenty of water, you know, just like these little things where we take care of ourselves. Another thing that I do is I try to walk either in the morning, lunchtime, or evening, or a combination of that. Because again, that's something with, whereas if you feel tired or, you know, kind of run down, sometimes you just need to like, or for me, I just know I need to like get up and take a walk around. You know, whether it's take a walk around the block, or if I'm working from home, you know, take a walk to the beach, that sort of thing.
Yeah, well, I was just to say, tell people where you live in New
Oh, where
Haven.
I live? Okay, so
Yeah.
I live near Lighthouse Point Park. I live in an area called Morris Cove. So that's actually been a big part of how I create as well, because I've been doing a lot of observing of the beach, the sea, the sky, the clouds, the wildlife, the, you know, flowers and so forth. Well, not flowers just yet, but just, you know, how things kind of grow, and you know, just the water and the tides and that sort of thing. So I've been taking a lot of pictures, and I just have my camera phone. I don't have you know, a camera, but I've been working a lot in kind of observing and framing um, photos and that sort of thing, and then posting them. So that's
Yeah. So I think like, I mean, it's almost every day that you know, post on Facebook pictures of
yeah.
the water and different sunsets, and it's really beautiful.
Yeah, it was funny because I was noticing that when you go to Facebook and you go to the memory section, and I was like, oh my goodness, I've been doing this for more than a year, very regularly, you know. So I make a point, because I live here, um, to go out and get to the water. Either there's a beach where I just walk through the park, cross the street and I go over to the beach that's overlooked by Anthony's Ocean View, or I'll walk, you know, the quarter mile that it takes to get into the entrance of the park, of Lighthouse Point Park, and then walk the park, and, you know, again, just observe and take pictures and just get different different perspectives. Actually, Carmen Lund, who was also a Grover. And
Yeah, I remember Carmen. Yeah, she's right now, I think her foot is hurt or something.
So she has a Facebook group, something art by Carmen Lund. And it's basically people, so this is interesting because I've learned from artists, even though I'm not an artist per se, but I've learned to do things like find perspective, frame things, look at things in a different light or in a different way. So in her group, you know, we post photos basically for the most part, of things that we have observed, and we either, you know, post them without any kind of comment or any kind of introduction, or it's like just a very few words and just let other people kind of look at the photos. So I've been doing that quite a bit. And I just remember one of the things that I really enjoyed about Carmen was one birthday of mine. She gifted me a sketching class. What is it called? Plein Air. So we were out like in Brantford. It was near that place, The Stand. And there was like, I think like a cornfield or a garden or something. And she...
You want to explain what plein air is for people, so if they don't understand?
Oh, so isn't plein air like out in nature basically?
Yeah, so it's painting out in a nice landscape, and you're out there with your easel.
Yeah.
And so yeah. So you're painting in the plein air.
And
then
why don't you
tell like
anywhere.
Why don't you explain who is Carmen? She's an artist, but then does she do art therapy? And
I know that she's an artist. I think that she has done like at least classes, and definitely and from like different perspectives. And I don't remember what it's called, but the thing that she taught me was basically I had a sketch pad and a pencil, and what I was supposed to do was look at the thing that I was drawing, but never look down at my sketch pad. So it's just kind of like feeling out the art and just kind of letting my hand move around the sketch pad and look at what I'm drawing. And it was really interesting how it came out, you know, because at first you don't trust yourself. You're like, I want to look at what I'm doing so I can like actually, you know, see if I'm creating something that's like true to form. But it was really interesting. And I still have some of the drawings that I did. And then I went back and I took some of those like watercolor pencils, and I just started sketching them out and coloring the patterns in. So that was a lot of fun.
Hello, Paul Dennison.
Hello, Paul Dennison. I don't know Paul Dennison. I see Catherine's still here too.
So I am collaging. Are you working on anything, Julia, or are you just talking?
I'm just talking. I'm working on just talking.
There's some people who hey now, Paul said, there's some people who just come in and you know, you don't have to talk. If you want to participate, you can. And then Julia, if you want to just talk, you can. If you want to create, you can. If you want to get up and lead us in belly dancing, you can.
Yeah,
It's
I was
really,
hoping that I was going to be able to do that, but I wasn't like set up enough.
um, I am, I finished one box, I think. I'm going for minimalism. And
You
then I'm gonna,
finished.
yeah, I don't want to get my hands all sticky with all the glue and stuff. So
Oh,
I
okay.
have like one of them. It's like
Okay.
gonna be,
Oh,
it's gonna
look at the
be,
goddess box.
yeah, so it's gonna be an Egyptian, even though it's not one of the goddesses that we did, but I'll just talk about that. And then in here, it looks, I have like different papers and stuff. And I have
Yeah.
stamps from around the world and stuff like that. So I
Yeah.
just don't want to get like the Mod Podge, get all that.
Yeah, all on
Do
your
all that.
hands and everything.
Yeah, I want to do
Yeah.
that. I'll leave that for the next hour. I'll set up the boxes, and then I like to do things in stages too, because then you get too crazy and then it starts looking ugly. So it's like good just to have like a nice base and
Right.
then leave it. And then I'm going to go on to another box right now and then see like how many I can set up and then put them
Right.
together, leave them, and then next week put different layers, or in a couple days or this weekend. But it's not good to do all of it.
Yeah, I'm super excited for the for this next take and make kit. I think this is like my third one that I've done with you.
Oh,
I did the chocolates. I
okay.
did the bath and oh my goodness,
Bath salts.
the bath and the bath bomb and the when we did the hand acupressure,
That was, I think, the self-care.
the self-care one. Oh my goodness, I was
Like
all
home
about
spa
that
one.
one.
Did you say something, Rose?
I said the home spa one.
The
Yeah, the
home
home
spa
spa.
one.
Yeah.
I don't think I could have gotten on the phone to grab that bag quick enough. Like I was just like, I'm on this.
Let me do your cards now. Let me do people's cards now.
All right.
So, Paul, you can let me do your cards?
Is Catherine still there? We should do her.
Yeah, I want to do cards for sure.
I knew you wanted to do cards, Catherine. Paul, you gonna let me do your cards? I don't know if he's
He
there.
said go for it. I'll say go for it. Go for the cards.
All right. So, okay. So I'm going to do your cards first, Julia.
Right.
Let me see, because people talk in the chat and I don't really look. Paul said he said go for it. You have to talk though, Paul. You know you love to talk, so come on. All right. So Julia, do you want me to do the inner goddess cards? Or do you want me to do, I do 2 card readings.
Okay.
So I do a goddess card reading and then I do a reading based on the cards that I made also. So,
Ooh.
So
Okay.
I'll do those afterwards, but we'll do, it's Women's History Month.
Yeah, let's do the goddess cards.
So which one do you want? This is the inner goddess. And
Inner
these,
goddess.
okay. Everyone going for the inner
I'm like,
goddess.
can I do both?
I'll do both, like, but I'll do that on Friday when I see you.
Yeah. I don't know. I just like the words inner goddess right now.
All right. So here I am shuffling.
Okay.
These are very big cards. They're very pretty cards too. And then tell me when to stop, and then I'll spread them.
Okay. Stop.
All right. So do you want me to do top, middle, or
Middle.
bottom?
Middle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm good with middle.
Makes it easier.
Paul said, I'm going to be the shy guy tonight and let y'all rule since it's Women's Month.
Thank you.
Okay. So you have 2 cards that were picked. And these are a new deck of cards for me, so I'm not familiar with all of these. And you have two cards. I think, yeah, you have two cards that I've never seen before.
Oh
So it's
no.
great. So you have
Okay.
Madeline, and you have elk medicine. And so let me
Oh,
go. 31.
this sounds exciting.
They're really good, cool cards. I like them. I'm gonna do elk medicine woman because it came up first.
Okay.
Okay. There are certain things that are meant to happen at particular times. This is a working of destiny. No matter how much pressure there is from the outside world or from your own expectations, there's an order of events and divine timing in place so that what is meant to be shall be. Balance your active pursuit of your dreams and ambitions with patience and trust in the right timing of things. You're given a message that you are capable of great accomplishment this lifetime. Rather than fighting against life, trust that is working with you and for you. Do what is in your power to do, but pace yourself with trust and surrender to. Elk Medicine Woman comes with
Yeah.
guidance to heal your soul. Steady does it, wild one, wild one. Maintain the pace that matches your inner rhythms. Do not feel rushed by urgency or external demands. You cannot force life to flow. The heart is at peace with this because it knows that perfect timing is divine timing. You have the endurance to go far, to attain great things in life. You must conserve your energy to maintain your stamina. If you push yourself to exhaustion, you make the way harder for yourself, nor does it speed up your results. Forcing creates resistance, which just slows everything down. Elk Medicine Woman understands that you have great courage, which will take you to places that others may not dare to go. With your inner wisdom and self-confidence, there is much that you shall achieve and receive. She whispers in your heart, affirming that your accomplishments shall be impressive. She guides you to work hard, but also to enjoy your life and to allow others to support you. When divine timing is just right, you will hit your stride. You will attain all that for which you have aimed and more. Place the backs of your hands on the top of your head. This is the sacred ritual,
This,
right?
okay.
So with your fingers extending upwards in a straight curved shape, these are your symbolic soul antlers. They draw in divine transmissions of guidance, blessing, energy, and instruction. Imagine, visualize, feel, or pretend that you can suction all that spiritual goodness in your soul antlers. Then move your hands down to relax on your heart. So place the backs of your hands on the top of your head with your fingers
Oh, okay.
extending upwards in a slightly curved shape, like their antlers. These are the symbolic soul antlers. They draw in divine transmissions of guidance, blessing, energy, and instruction. Imagine, visualize, feel, or pretend that you can suction all that spiritual goodness into your soul antlers. Then move your hands down to relax on your heart.
Oh wow.
Right? And then you have Madeline.
That was super cool.
So why do you think you got that, Julia?
Um, it was interesting about how right on that is because I feel like that um I'm trying to do a lot of things and a lot of new things as well. Um, and I know that I have to do two things, which was mentioned in that. One is have patience, and the other one is to not be afraid to ask other people for help, or just not be so arrogant as to think that I can just do everything myself. I'm like, I can do it. I'm impatient. I can do this. Well, all by myself, I'm fine. And I think the past year, I really have learned how to like kind of slow down, pace myself, trust my my knowledge as well. Like I've, as far as my business is concerned, I've been in business for a long time, and I've really been able to shape what I do, and also have, find a way to have a good time as well. I mean, you know that when it's like, hey, let's go have something to eat or go wherever, I'm like, yep.
Well, us Libras, we work hard and play hard. So
We do both. We do both.
Yes.
Work hard and
So
play hard.
I didn't really show, I don't know if I really showed you the cards. So here's Elk.
Oh, I like that one.
Isn't that beautiful?
It is.
I
It's
love these
gorgeous.
cards. The artists, like they did a really just beautiful job. A lot of Fairchild is to make these cards. And then this is Madeline.
Madeline. Okay. Wow. Those cards are beautiful.
Aren't
Oh
they
my
pretty?
gosh. I'm so
Wow.
excited.
So you can experience a feeling of being completely reborn, like a mythical phoenix rising from the ashes of what once was. The past completely burned away. It is not about forgetting the past, but it is the reality that the past doesn't have any hold over you. You're being given a spiritual blessing from deep within your heart to cast off anything and everything without exception from the past that does not bring you peace. The universe wants you to take from it. So let go what does not give you peace. There's now a brand new you, clean, fresh, and ready to start again with the protective grace of the divine all around you and within you, shining bright and true. Spiritual guidance. The divine feminine spirit in you needs to feel cherished, adored, loved, and worshipped for all that she is, for all that she offers. She has so much love to give from her heart through the intimate sharing of her innermost self, through connection, touch, and the sacred pleasure of her body. She knows that expressions of love through the body are a sacred gift of high value and worthy of appreciation and respect. They are not to be demanded or taken for granted, abused, or criticized in any way. Some who lack wisdom may try to shame her and judge her gifts of physical love. Some may claim that they are owed her gifts of love and say that she must provide them on demand. Maybe they threaten to withdraw their love otherwise, to harm or reject you, or try to justify their behavior with their rights, legal or otherwise. That is always, without exception, unacceptable and blasphemy against the goddess. You are a sister of Madeline, the priestess of love upon the earth. You are worthy of respect, and you have the power to assert your value, your purity, and your grace, no matter what that has been or may be, no matter whether others understand or agree with you. You know that dignity is always yours by divine decree. You need only claim it for yourself. Sacred ritual. You can use a red scarf or a pasmina as a veil in this ritual, or you can use your imagination. Place the red veil over your head and say, the red veil of love, created from the blood of the divine heart, made flesh, cleanses and protects me now. Through this extraordinary grace, I am freed from the pain of judgment, betrayal, and abandonment. I reclaim my feminine dignity. I accept and honor my sacred beauty. Why do you
Wow.
think you got that?
That, yeah, that has definitely, again, just hit the nail on the head as far as like my personal relationships. And yeah, there's been a lot of growth and wisdom, I think. And also, it was interesting that it mentioned physical, physicality in love, because that is definitely something that I am. And some people are like, I think still, even in 2020, 2021, it's just like, oh, like it's not cool to be like showing emotion in a physical manner. Obviously, there has to be like consent no matter what. But I think there are still people who shame women for like being pretty open about like how they express their physicality.
So we'll get back to that, talking about belly dancing and how
Yeah,
you do that as a creative practice. It's one of your creative practices.
I know. And that was the thing too, right? Because belly dancing is it's very it's a lot. It's very, for me, it's both very personal and very sensual and very like um it really brings me in touch with my own self. But at the same time, it's something that I love sharing, and especially like creating a space where other women and other people anybody can just like move in a certain way that's considered like, oh wow, that looks really sexual, or that looks really like that's a little too much. But it's not. It's so like freeing and opening and lovely. And a lot of times I've watched women belly dance and I've belly danced and I've literally cried because there's so much expression of different feelings, right? Belly dancing can tell stories. Um, it can tell of heartache. It can tell of, you know, love, everything. What's that?
Uh, Paul, you don't want me to do your cards before you leave?
Was that Paul had to go or Catherine had to go?
Well, I don't know. Catherine, she said, oh.
Sorry, gotta take off. Talk to you later.
I don't know. It's like Catherine, sorry, gotta take off. And then Paul, did Paul say anything?
No, I don't think Paul said anything.
Oh, okay.
I think he's just letting us women be women.
I mean, but the thing is that with the divine feminine is divine masculine too, and that we have all these things in between, you know, and it's really important that we can all talk about it.
Yeah.
And Paul, you're so domestic and you embody both all different genders that it's great.
Yeah, I think, you know, and that's the other thing too, right? It's like, however a person expresses themselves, they should be free to express themselves. And I think for me, belly dance, but any kind of dance, I grew up dancing. I had been dancing since I was 4 years old. You know, whether it was taking dance lessons or
you've been belly dancing or just
no, so I've been dancing since I was 4. I took gymnastics, I took ballet, I didn't take any tap, contemporary. I'm on the board of the Elm City Dance Collective. You know, whenever they invite the community to dance, I've danced with them. So dance is very important to me, and specifically belly dance, because it's really interesting how there's 2 expressions of belly dance, and one is, you know, it's used in burlesque and in shows and for everybody to experience, and it's like a lot of joy. And then it's also expressed in a manner that's like very it's a space for women to express themselves, and to gather and to celebrate, you know, in spaces. So there's actually celebrations that are called haflas, and it's basically women coming who have their they make their costumes, they make jewelry, they make food. I haven't been to one in a while, so that's why I'm saying they instead of we. It's like, now I'm feeling like, oh, I can't wait until we can do that again. And it's just like, yeah, it's just a celebration of more kind of, I guess, feminine expressions.
Paul did say in the chat, waiting for my reading.
Oh,
Paul. Oh,
yeah, Paul wants
all right. Oh,
right,
I didn't know.
right.
Like, you're like trying not to talk. Like, I don't know what that's all about, because you're are always talkative. So I'm gonna do inner goddess or goddess reading for you. And even though you're a man and identify as man, we all have our inner god and inner goddesses. So which one would you like, Paul? The red or the yellow? Since you're not talking, it seems.
We also have someone else attending. There's Maria Fay.
Hello, Maria. Thank you for joining us again.
Hi there. It's been a while. I missed the last one.
It's all right, but I acknowledge you and appreciate you for coming back. Thank you.
Thank you.
You just missed some nuggets that Julia was talking about, belly dancing and just embodying our bodies as women and feeling good about that.
Okay, I'll go back and listen then afterwards.
Yeah, it was really good. It was really good.
Thank you.
Because I think that that's really important. The yellow. I knew you were gonna pick the yellow, Paul. I knew you were gonna pick that. So these are Doreen Virtue cards. Right, so you can tell me when to stop. Paul said red is so predictable. So tell me when to stop, Paul. Paul is a culinary artist. And art I mean he can tell you about. Okay, stop.
Oh,
all right, do you want top, bottom, or middle? I can make some jokes about that.
Let's keep it PG.
I know, Rose. I know. You can add a little innuendo, though. You know. I think he got embarrassed. Would you like the top card, the bottom card, or the middle card? Paul, you have to communicate. You have to channel your energy into the cards.
Paul needs to speak.
He said it's kind of personal. Bodies of water. You got solace, bodies of water. Right. So spend time near water. Paul lives in Jersey City, such as a lake, river, or the ocean to recharge your batteries. And then I'll read the broader meaning. But you are by the water, so that's great. Spend time near the water, such as a lake, river, or ocean, to recharge your batteries. Message from Silas. Water's curative effects are well known and well documented. Since the human body is composed almost entirely of water, this makes sense. Water can wash away sadness, pain, and the ill effects of suffering. Engage in purification rituals involving water more often, and you'll experience an uplifting in your spirit and outlook. Water's magical properties are amplified when you infuse it with your prayers and intentions. Whether you soak in a sea salt bath or bathe in the freshwater spring, you're sure to see the difference water will make. Various meanings of this card. Go for a meditative walk near water. Take a vacation near the ocean. Move to a home situated closer to a body of water. Swim, take a sea salt bath to detox your energetic and physical body. Drink more water. Celis is a Celtic sun goddess who oversees bodies of water associated with healing. The fountain of healing water is Bath, England, is named in Celis's honor. Call upon Celis while conducting healing ceremonies involving water, while taking a revitalizing swim or bath, or when you need help rearranging your schedule or finances to allow a trip to the ocean or lake. So if you would grace us with your voice, I don't know of your voice, but at least to share, why do you think you got that card, Paul? And does that resonate with you? Maria, do you want me to do your cards today?
Sure. Please and thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Let's see what he said. He said, closest to the water these days is water in the sink. Does Epsom salt work? Yes. Before this, I had an Epsom salt bath, you know, because it's good for detoxifying. And I just like taking baths during this pandemic because any amount of self-care is important. So true. You're not walking outside by the water in Jersey City? I'll let you answer at your own will. So Maria, do you want yellow or red? We have inner goddess. Oh,
think I want-
right, exactly. I'm sorry. Yes.
Oh dear.
So yes, I'm sorry. Healing to you.
I think I want the red ones again.
Okay. Paul, but you're doing a good job cooking. I wish I was there to be able to partake in your food. So Maria, just tell me when to stop.
Okay, the middle. Oh, stop, sorry.
And you want
I'm
me to
ahead
do
of
the
the
middle?
game.
You want me to
I'm
do the
ahead of
middle?
the game. Yeah,
Okay. This
I'm
one was,
jumping ahead.
it's all right. Earth goddess. You got number 44, Earth goddess.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Oh, why? Why does that make sense?
Well, I'm a Taurus.
Oh, yeah. Got that earth energy. Okay, 44. And 44 is a angel number too. Might want to look that up.
Mhm.
All right. So to live the dream, we have to surrender the fantasy. This can be painful. It feels like the end when in fact it is the beginning. Once the pain passes, there's the joy of what we have yearned for coming to life. It may not be perfect as a fantasy, but it will be real and it can nourish us. We can build our appetite for life and dreams, but we cannot be fed by them. The soul requires real life experience to become fully alive, to have experiences and grow. There's a fantasy that wants to become reality for you. Don't let a few nitty-gritty moments or human imperfections prevent you from experiencing the joy of heaven on earth. Spiritual guidance. You have beautiful dreams and wonderful visions of what life could be. It is not enough to imagine them. You want to live them. This is exactly how you are meant to feel. For that to happen, you must practice feeling grounded, taking practical earthly steps one at a time to bring your dreams to life. The universe will send so much help your way, but you are the one who must take the steps. Spirit can do that for you. Even if you are not sure how your biggest, boldest dreams can come together, you can still ask yourself what it is that I can do now. Sometimes it will be an obvious action that you can take, and sometimes you will need to pray and meditate and ask for the way forward to be shown. When you can do something, do it. When you cannot, rest and wait for your intuition to nudge you when the time is right to take action. Remember, you are an earth goddess. You have the power to manifest your visions, to bring your beautiful ideas to life in the world. This is what you are here to do. Remember to love yourself enough to recognize your creative power, to use it joyfully each day. Sacred ritual. Lie on earth if you can, or rest somewhere that feels right for you. Imagine, feel, visualize, or pretend that the earth's energy is rising through your feet, into your belly, and up to your heart. She is giving you the Shakti pot, a boost of feminine energy from the great goddess to help you feel confident in your own power.
Huh.
Why do you think that you got that card?
Well, it's interesting because I have a lot of ideas of how I want my life to be, and I struggle with manifesting it. And so I don't know, I kind of heard something about that in there, and I'm definitely not feeling grounded, so I need to get more grounded. I shouldn't say need, but it would be helpful. I'm struggling with, this is unrelated to the card, but I'm struggling with giving myself permission to have fun.
Well, yeah, like that's really important because that's come up with, I think, in everyone's reading was like the word joy, I think.
Mhm.
I think the word joy came up in everyone's reading.
Yeah.
And so I think that, this is what one of the things that the pandemic has taught me is that, especially in hard times, that at the beginning, this is at the beginning of last year, like we were in this pandemic exactly at this time, you know, and what I grabbed onto was art and creating, because that is what I had control over. We didn't have control over, we didn't know what was going to happen. We still don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what I grabbed onto. That's what made me feel grounded. Like, even though like art can be amorphous and everything, that the ability to create art and to engage in art and take that angst and anxiety that we might have now because there's so much uncertainty, that
Right.
was what helped to ground me and make me feel good and make me not spiral into depression, because I just didn't want to spiral into depression because, you know, we still are not in a different place, you know, like we
Yeah.
still don't know
Right.
what's going to happen. So, you know, a lot of people are waiting for like, oh, when we go back to normal. We're not going to ever go back to normal. We have to create a new normal. So what are the things that we can do to make, well, I've always realized that in life, you know, but glass half full or glass half empty, or just looking at the glass as it is, you know? But I think that we all understand, we're probably all of a certain age where we understand that bad things are going to happen, but how we respond to them really makes the situation a lot better. So, but about manifesting, some of the things about manifesting, it's like, well, the last couple of weeks I've been collaging, you know, that's a way that you can manifest. You can write things down, you can say them out loud, you can tape them and then say them out loud, you know. But one of the things about manifesting, we feel like our situation has to change, and our situation doesn't change until we change. And so, you know, the things that we want a lot of times, you know, like every week, so Paul's like, he's a Pisces zodiac sign. He flows like water. Always know what's gonna happen. Well, I don't know if they always know what's gonna happen, but I think we can learn a lot from water and going with the flow. And I think that, you know, we always, like, especially in America, we want to have control over things. And the weather, you can't have control over the weather. You know, like you can't have control over water. Water can be nice and flowy and be beautiful, and you're riding waves, and then it can be a riptide and you can drown. So, you know, you can learn a lot of things from water. You can have reverence for water. You can be malleable, like water. But also, you know, you can take steps to feel like what you want to do. And I think that that's where, you know, each week, like a lot of what I do in regard to advising people is really just cheerleading and making people feel that they can do it. Because until you feel that you can do it, it probably isn't going to get done. And a lot of people feel like, okay, like I have to have all these different things in place to get it done, and then I will feel it. And that's not how it works. You have to feel it beforehand, and then everything miraculously comes together and then gets done. And it's really, you know, having been in business for a long time, my daughter made me some fried rice.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that looks lovely.
Oh, my daughter made me fried rice.
Looks good.
That's pretty amazing.
I would say so. I'm going to eat on camera, which I should probably.
Yeah, I was eating on camera earlier.
I'm hungry.
I'm eating off camera.
There you go. Yeah, I went to I haven't become vegan, like real vegan, but I've been eating more vegan meals. And I'm like, and I'm not afraid to say I'm 52. So like I've been like back and forth with vegetarianism, but somehow pulling more vegan tastes and dishes into my meal planning and my world has just been something that's been happening. And speaking of going with the flow, that's the flow I've been going with. Except for when I had the risotto. The risotto had cheese on it. I was not unhappy about that, but it was a vegetarian risotto.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it's probably hard for you to be vegan and Italian. I mean, I love cheese. I can't eat a lot of it anymore, but
yeah.
I love cheese.
I found a vegan ice cream that I like. So I'm good with that. Yeah, but not having cheese. That's why I'm saying I'm having more vegan meals, like probably 1 to 2 meals in each day are vegan. Which is to me better than 0.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I find that like in the summertime, all I want to do is just graze on whatever's in my garden.
Have you started your seedlings? You want to talk about your garden
Oh
landscaping?
my goodness, yeah.
So I'm gonna turn off my. I'm gonna put off my thing because I don't know if I sound. I don't want to be chomping. So
Okay.
talk about your garden landscaping, and all that kind of stuff.
All right. Well, I'm going to just show a couple of books first that are kind of like my garden Bibles right now. Yeah. So this is one. This is Rodale's All New Encyclopedia of Organic Gardening. Oh, it's shiny. Okay. This is a thick hardcover book, and it has everything that you need to know about organic gardening. So I keep this around with me, and I just refer to it. My youngest sister, Maria, she gives me like such lovely books every single year. And one year she gave me this book. There we go. And this is Gaia's Garden. So it's specific to permaculture, which again, I'm not like, I do not do permaculture perfectly at all. But I do try to incorporate as much of the practice as I can and just do a little bit at a time. So where I am right now.
Do you want to describe what permaculture is for people that might not know, please?
Yeah, so permaculture is basically it's incorporating as much of a natural, that word is coming up again, flow and natural landscape as possible. So it has a lot to do with the environment that you have to work with. So capturing and conserving water, how do you do that? How do you naturally bring soil to life and do composting and that sort of thing, utilizing what's available to you that's natural as far as like insects and weeds, and then what's actually considered weeds as well. So there's a lot to the practice, and not having like a very soft footprint on the ecology that's in your space. So it's providing, you know, like a really gentle ecosystem. So where I am right now, I would just oops, is the other thing, which I don't have in front of me, but I keep around, especially when I'm home, is I have a notebook and a sketchbook, and I make notes on what seeds I'm going to utilize that I currently have, what I want to buy. I actually purchased 2 blueberry bushes that are pretty full-grown blueberry bushes, and they will produce this year. And then I got 4 blueberry bushes that are little babies. So they're on their way to my house, and I'm super excited. So I have a whole area of my yard, which is blackberries, raspberries, blueberries, and strawberries. And then,
nice.
So that's along the
side. Do those all come to fruition in June? Not the blueberries.
No,
it's
kind of like a rolling thing, right? So strawberries, I have some strawberries that I can harvest in June, and then there's ever-bearing strawberries, and those I get like July-ish. Sometimes I can get like another crop in August, especially if they daughter well, which means the plant kind of like shoots out a stem and another set of leaves that plants itself elsewhere in the garden, and then that will produce raspberries. I would get, gosh, I was getting raspberries up until November last year, which was like really weird. Blueberries, again, I get different varieties of blueberries so that they will, I can harvest them at different times of the year as well. And then in that same area, I have my flowers like nasturtiums, which I love the look of nasturtiums and I love their peppery taste as well. So I grow those.
You just put them in
And
your salads?
yeah, I love nasturtiums in salad. Oh my gosh. Violets is another one. What else can you eat? That's the other thing too, is like last year my yard was carpeted in purple dead nettle.
Did you make tinctures out of them?
I did not, no, I didn't make tinctures out of it, but there were people that wanted to harvest it, friends of mine who wanted to harvest it. So I was like,
I
yeah,
want to do that this year, Julia.
yeah, no, I'll
make-
definitely, when the when they start showing up, and that's what I've been doing is, so last year there was so little of my yard was like grasses. It was the purple dead nettle, it was dandelion. I let the dandelion grow in my yard because you can make salad out of the leaves. You can use the, you know, every part basically almost of the dandelion. And I always thought, even when I was a little girl, I always thought they were pretty. And my dad would actually, like, he wouldn't get, you know, when I was growing up, the things that people considered weeds, we were putting in our salad. We were putting purslane in our salad. We were putting dandelion in our salad. We were putting,
Yeah, I like purslane.
yeah. So from an early,
People, my family in Jamaica, it's like the old people eat it, right? But then the young people, they're like, oh, this is like animal food. It's so funny. And my
yeah.
cousins and my
Well,
cousins,
that
I'm
was the
like,
other
oh
thing
that.
too. We had rabbits,
Yeah.
you know, and it was,
You know?
I had two sisters and each one of us had a rabbit. That was our pet. So we would eat, you know, we would eat dandelion leaves and then we would like let the rabbits eat the food too. So it was pretty wild.
Do you want me to do your other card? Like the cards that are easy, like my cards?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to find, I had my glue all together and then now I don't know where my glue is.
I feel like we hit a lot of topics, but it was all like very like related.
Yeah. It doesn't matter how, you know, it's just like a normal conversation.
It was.
So,
It was a super cool conversation.
do you want affirmation cards or do you want flower cards?
Let's do flower cards.
I knew you were gonna pick those.
I know. I like flowers.
Yeah, I am.
Can I just tell you that I splurged, speaking of self-care, and I purchased oh, Paul is asking, can you send a copy of my
I was just, I'll send it to you. Yes, Paul, I'll send it to you. If I don't send it to you tonight, because I might be tired, I'll send it to you tomorrow morning. Sullis, I remember. I
want mine too.
I didn't write yours down,
thing.
but I would remember it. But I made sure to write Julia's down so I would remember it.
Thank you.
And Maria, we're not friends on Facebook, so.
So I bought myself pink cherry blossom LED lights, the string of lights. So I have like Christmas lights up still behind me. And I'm going to take those down and I'm going to, what's the first day of spring is, like Saturday or Sunday?
Yeah.
Sunday.
Do you want me to stop or?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, what?
Yes, one more and then stop.
It just flew out. So it's hollyhock. It's ambition. I don't know what's going on with you,
wow.
Julia. You just seem like you're about to, you know, just remember me. Just remember the little people. Okay.
Burst forth.
All right.
I feel like I have so far to go, Nadine, to get to.
No, you're on your way. It seems like that's what the cards are saying. All right, Paul. Do you want an affirmation card or do you want a flower card? Or do you want me to pick for you? Okay. Affirmation. So these cards, Paul, I started making these cards. These are cards that I made. And it was part of, you might have remembered Our Bodies Ourselves, part of an exhibit that was celebrating, I think, the 60th anniversary of Our Bodies Ourselves. And I made an installation called Kitchen Sanctum that celebrated the sacredness of the kitchen, but then also the woman as the center of that sacredness. And so I made these cards to affirm, and I made these cards, I made the flower cards to be conversation starters, and also to be a fun way for people to interact if I wasn't there too. All right, so tell me when to stop. All right, and then top, bottom, or middle. Or we can spread them too, Paul. Are you conflicted about the top, bottom, or middle? Like, that's your mind. Okay. Can you tell me top, bottom, or middle? Please. People are so recalcitrant sometimes, you know? So I am abundant, Paul. I am abundant. All right. You are abundant. All right. So Maria, which one would you like?
I think I need an affirmation.
All right.
Please.
No problem. Tell me when to stop.
Okay, you can stop, please.
Okay. And then tell me top, middle, or bottom.
Let's go with the middle again. Don't peek.
I don't peek. I'm just trying to get a card. I don't peek, believe me. Okay. I'm powerful beyond my wildest dreams.
Okay, no good. Thank you.
So remember what we talked about, embodiment, okay?
Yeah.
About feeling. It starts with feeling. And so it can start with affirmation cards, and it can start with doing mirror work. And so going in the mirror and working on the affirmations, like, you know, finding affirmations for whatever you want to work on. So if you want to work on confidence, find affirmations about confidence and go in the mirror and say that to yourself. There's a whole notion of also doing just not affirming, but doing incantations. So it's like really like being dramatic about feeling like I am wonderful, I am great, like really embodying it. Because once you do that with your body and you say it, and then if you want to magnify your manifestations, there's like binaural beats that you can do at nighttime. So when you sleep, you can go on YouTube or on Spotify or whatever platform that you use, and you can put binaural beats in. All right, how you spell it?
I think I saw something like that and I didn't know what it was.
And beats. I said binaural beats, and they have Sanfago, which is Italian also. So they're different wavelengths, and they help to train your mind to, you can do stuff on healing or confidence or motivation, or they have them on anything. Like, so I do them, and then I didn't realize, like, you know, I was grinding my teeth. I was stressed out and I was grinding my teeth. My friend was like, why don't you just do binaural beats for that? And I was like, you can do it for that too. And I found one on teeth. And in 2 days, I stopped grinding my teeth, and I was grinding my teeth for 6 weeks, where it's just like totally raw and feeling totally bad. So,
wow. I can't see. Did you type it out? Because it's not in the chat. Maybe it went to panelists only or something.
It said
Yeah,
all
you
panelists.
said the panelists only. Yeah, you switch it to all panelists and attendees above where it says type message here.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry. but they have them at different lengths, and you know, you play them, it just makes you
Okay.
feel really good, you know. So to me, they make you feel really good. I feel really good when I listen to them, and they're very healing. And also you can do like EFT, you know, but there's lots of different ways to manifest. And once you start, you know, you can start with things that are small, and um, and then you'll see things happen for you. I found my glue.
Okay, thank you.
So, Julia, are you going to do anything, or am I the only one going to be working today?
Define working.
Well, I'm making art, I guess.
Oh.
You
I
don't have to-
have been, well, I've been talking about what I've been doing. Today, I wanted to concentrate on just having the conversation and kind of thinking about like what my next steps are. My morning started at 8 a.m. So yeah, and then I don't know. I guess I'm not really making anything right now. I did talk about the gardening though.
Yeah, well, you're going to prep for that. And do you do seedlings or do you buy them?
So I do three things. I start seeds inside the house, which I haven't done the past couple of years, but I do start the cold weather stuff outside, which I can do. I actually, this past weekend, I prepped one of the beds. So in that bed, I'm going to have carrots and onions and parsnips and radishes and beets. So that's kind of like my
Oh,
cold
so you
weather
grow
stuff.
parsnips.
Mm-hmm.
How long do they take to grow? I love parsnips.
Gosh, I forget what that one is. I have to look it up. This is why I have notebooks.
Yeah, or
That's why
spreadsheets,
I have
right?
my books. I'm like, I don't remember from year to year, like how much, like the only one that I really remember is that like radishes are really are short period of time. It's like 45 days. It's like, okay, got radishes now. Cool.
Do you do watermelon radish?
I have not done watermelon radish. No.
I love watermelon radish. Why don't
Oh,
you do watermelon
is
radish?
that like
Those are my
nuts?
favorites.
Yeah, they're so beautiful. Aren't they beautiful?
Yes, I've also done this purple daikon. That's really pretty too.
Okay, I
Yeah.
gotta check that out. Yeah, I like color, Maria. I like
I love
color in
color
my
too.
food.
Yeah, I do
So
too.
what do you do with
Today
the
I had,
watermelon radish? Do you just put it in salad, or do you pickle them, or and what do you do with the
I
purple daikon?
I do the same thing with both of them. And what I do is I either slice them really thin in a salad or chopped up in a salad, or I chop them and put some rice vinegar on them to pickle them. Just a quick pickle. I don't really let them sit. It's amazing how quickly they taste pickled by doing that.
right.
And then
Yeah, I do
I've
quick
actually,
pickles. I don't usually do long pickles because I don't have a lot of places for them. So I usually
yeah,
do a quick pickle too.
yeah. And then I've put them in a stir fry and it was okay.
Mm.
But there's the prettiest, especially the watermelon one is the prettiest in a salad.
Yeah. So I am using my right now Mod Podge,
Mm.
and I'm getting my hands dirty.
I feel like I want to get up and go look in my bag, my take and make bag.
Oh, are you gonna try and do it beforehand now?
No, I just want to I want to do like, what do you call it? An unboxing video.
Oh, do you want? Oh, why don't you do that? Why don't you do that for
Hold on.
people? And then we can and then we can refer people to the to all the things that they have.
Okay. I'm like sitting in the dark now, which I kind of like. All right. So here we have, oh, we have all these beautiful papers. I like that one. It's like got
Yeah,
a
so
good,
I just put a little piece of paper in here.
okay. I guess I should. Look at this one. It's so colorful. It's like candy. It's like that gum, the zebra stripe gum. That's what it reminds me of.
Reminds me of Mardi Gras. It's got some of the colors there.
Yeah, it does have those colors. Oh, and purple and like, yeah, they're royal colors. Which
Yeah, so you can do what, like people are going to be able to do whatever they want, but
and
however they want to decorate. It'll be interesting to see what goddesses, because I chose 5 goddesses from around the world that represent the different corners of the world for people. So Paul is asking, what about Afro beats, house music beats? Why is no one wearing green?
I'm wearing green.
Oh, for St. Patrick's Day?
Here.
I don't know. I mean, I kind of celebrated this weekend, but I didn't wear green either.
So this is actually a scarf with Celtic, and it's green.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm mostly Italian, but I am also 1/4 Irish.
I am just most of Europe.
And then there's this piece of fabric. Is this supposed to be like the piece of fabric to put the things on?
Yeah, to put the things on, and then also you can wrap up your stuff if you want to, too.
Oh, wrapping up stuff. Okay. And then
But it also is made for you to put your altar on and then do your rituals too.
so I have to look at what kind of goddess.
You have to choose. I was gonna choose, and then I was like, I felt like that was just too controlling. And it's like you could just do whatever you want, like whatever you are pulled to.
Markers.
That's what you should do.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that a very generous box there?
It's super generous. I was looking at the goddesses because like I'm so excited about choosing.
So I said, choose who you feel that you're drawn to and what you need right now.
Definitely do not need any goddess of fertility. I'm all done with that.
Well, fertility also is birthing, it can be birthing a new idea, a new love. It can be, it's not just with birthing a human being.
That's true too. You're right. No, thank you for reminding me that. Venus, the Roman goddess of love, sex, and beauty. Yeah.
So yeah, there's a whole bunch of different goddesses from around the world.
Oh, a seashell. I'm trying to like be careful with like the light. So, oh, what are the? There's little rosebuds.
Yes, for your to make spell bottles.
And more shells.
The shells are to hold your tea lights.
So in with the rosebuds, there's also lavender, cloves, and was it cinnamon?
Yeah.
Cinnamon. I didn't know if I put allspice in there too.
Mm-hmm. And then there's feathers and beads. This is so colorful.
We try.
There's still more. There's so much more stuff.
Yeah.
There's little discs.
So give a shout out. Make sure. Oh shoot! Look. See, because I'm talking to you, Julia. I'm like messing up my damn box.
Sorry. I definitely.
I almost did my box upside down. Damn it. So I'll just say I'll give a shout out to EchoWorks. So EchoWorks provided many of the things inside the bag along with Amazon.
Shout out to Lisa Spatrini, whom I like totally miss.
I know, it's so weird that you haven't seen some people in like a year.
It's like what, like for me, I'm like, thank goodness for social media and that, like, Yeah, I keep in touch. Oh my gosh, there's like lace. There's lace, there's tea lights.
And I saw you hold up something wrapped in paper. So there's 3 little glass bottles with corks and one
Okay.
like shot glass, which I presume is for the incense cones, right?
No, the shot glass is a chalice, is the representation of a chalice. So you can put wine inside there, water, you know, like anything for your rituals. So any kind of liquid.
These are
And
the little incense.
and the shells are, yeah, the little incense are for the shells, and the tea lights are for the shells. So
I gotta clear.
yeah, we're gonna get witchy, not next week, but the week after that.
Yeah, this is gonna go on my mantle.
I know, it's gonna look
Like,
beautiful.
it's my mantle because this is like my house, and yeah, this is gonna be so huge. This is gonna be such a manifestation of like my home. So I feel almost like there is a Celtic goddess of the home, and I don't know why. It's Bridget,
Okay.
which was also my grandmother's name before she changed it to Beatrice. Oh, look at how pretty! Oh my goodness!
So I'm gonna see if I have all these stamps that I got, and I'm gonna see if there's any stamps from Egypt in here. I'm
Is
gonna
that
sit
what
back.
you're?
Well,
Oh,
it's like kind of like an Egyptian. Yeah, it's like I'm doing like an Egyptian motif.
Oh, and there's a paintbrush. I'm still going here. Oh, what's in this envelope?
The envelope is like for you to make affirmation cards and to hold the affirmation cards in there.
And the mirror is in with the envelope so it doesn't get cracked.
So there's cards for affirmation cards, and then the mirror.
Yeah, so the mirror is there for you to be able to do the, affirmations.
This has got to be, there's like
You can
little.
say it, Julia. You can say it just so Rose can hear. Tell her.
What was I gonna say?
I don't know. I thought you were gonna say it was the best make and take bag you've ever seen in your bed.
It is. Oh yeah, it is. But I was like, there's these little buttons, and I got. Look at, there's like these little button things.
They're like, yeah, they're
Like pearl stickers or something.
They're like little pearl stickers. This is the best bag.
Did you get the goddess charm too? There's a goddess charm in there.
That
Is
should be
it with
with
the
the stones.
Yeah.
Right here.
Trish hooked me up at Echo Works.
Have I met Trish?
She's like the only one there most of the time now.
No.
I mean, I don't know if you've gone, I don't know if you've gone since it's in North Haven now.
Yeah, I haven't gone since it's in North Haven. And Catherine Susky would volunteer there. So here, I don't know if you could see this, the little goddess charm, people.
So cute.
Wow, I am in love with this whole thing. I'm so excited. This is like, there's a countdown in my head right now.
You see what I'm talking about, people, how like Julia's just so sweet and wonderful. This is her natural state. She's not faking, people. So Julia, well, tell us about your creative journey. Tell people about, your, because although you are, like people, and then tell people how you're creative in business, because you do social media. So obviously like people can see that that's creative, but a lot of people don't understand like the way that you craft business deals and all that kind of stuff. It can be creative. People just look at it as very boring and lacking imagination and uniqueness, and anything can be creative.
And that's the thing, right? Is anything can be creative, and you can totally enjoy what you do. And I think a lot of what I do is a variety of forms of creation, right? And so there's innovation, there's you know, listening is creative, and deriving things from what you hear people want. You know, you can manifest um, other people's businesses, which is like just fabulous. So, you know, a lot of what I do is a process. And when I say that I work in communications, it's like communications is very creative, because I think people forget that communications is not just writing. It's not just doing like a form of graphic design or that sort of thing. Communication is building relationships. Communication is back and forth. There's listening as well as speaking, and then there's like um, broadcasting and conveying, you know, what you see and hear from others, right? And so it's the same thing. It's like if you're painting, if you're writing, if you're taking, you know, if you're taking photographs and that sort of thing, you have to use your senses to observe. Um, so I think that that's something that I do and I enjoy doing, and I infuse that kind of that process into my work.
Well said. I need to leave y'all now to grab a bite. Have a creative night.
Yeah, eating is
Thank
definitely
you, Paul, for joining us. I appreciate you.
I appreciate it. So yeah, over the years, it has definitely become easier to do all of these things and to work with um, people who are innovative, who are passionate about what they do, and to be around people who are like that. So, so that's what I do. And I think originally I was working like in advertising, and it felt icky because it was super corporate, and you know, you kind of just, and what I was doing, I was just kind of like following directions and that sort of thing. And in this case, it's like, I think especially you know, last year when we started going into shutdown mode, of my clients, both with Agents of Branding and with She's So Social, really had to change the way that they did business, evolve, and we had to be really creative about how we do the things that we do. So that was challenging, and it was fun. It was like putting together, you know, it was like building out like a puzzle or something like that. So I really enjoy what I do, and I think it's also it helps me take into consideration other forms of creating an art and that sort of thing as being, you know, like super healing. And like I said, when I go out to, you know, I love living by the water. And I love going out every day. And sometimes I wonder, I'm like, gosh, are people bored because I take pictures of like the sea and the sky every day? But every single day, it's like so completely different. Like so
Oh, it is.
from the day before. It's like there's different colors and the waves are doing different things. And, you know, the light's hitting a certain way. And you really start to like appreciate every single piece of it. And I remember like, I used to say that like every spring, I would try to watch the leaves like and the flowers like budding on the trees and stuff like that. And then you know, I would forget, and then all of a sudden the leaves were just there.
I know, like that's what's gonna happen now, because like we're going through hot and cold weather, and then all of a sudden you're gonna see like the trees budding and like the magnolias out.
Yeah.
Sudden.
And you think like you're like, and I don't know, I think for me, and this I guess kind of says something about me, and I don't know what, but I'm just gonna say it anyways. I try to be very intentional about like, I'm gonna like observe things every day and really take it in and really pay attention to things. And then somehow it's like I get busy, it falls off the schedule, and then I have to like clamber back to like, you know, what my intention originally was. And so whether it's like walking every day, or if we have enough, you know, drinking enough water every day, or taking photos every day, or watching the leaves on the trees, you know, and the flowers blossom, and then, you know, then you just stop and you forget. And then it's like days and weeks until you see it again. You're like, holy crap, how did that happen?
I know. I'm picking out right now. I'm going through this whole box. I have a whole box of their shoot. Their stamps. So I'm
Okay.
batching like ones that I want to make motif with. So I have one that says United States of America Industry Agriculture for Defense. And it has the Statue of Liberty.
Oh, neat.
I just think it's so many dichotomies. So I
Yeah.
have a whole bunch. I have a whole bunch of those. So I'm gonna see if I can get a whole bunch of those and then do stuff. And then I have one that has American painting, and it has like different art things. I think is really cool.
Oh, that looks super cool.
Yeah.
So
So
I remember when I was younger, I would collect stamps, and I don't know like when or how or why I stopped
I
doing
would
it.
too. I did it probably till around like 10 or 11 to 13 or so, like probably then. And
Yeah.
then I think that was when there was a break in international travel, because that's when you had to pay an adult. That's when you had to be an adult. So
It's like, oh well.
yeah. Yeah, so that's what I think.
No, but like for me, it's like I had a stamp collection and I had a coin collection, and it was like,
I had a coin collection too.
and it was so funny because I remember there was a point where I didn't even have like a coin book or anything like that. Like I basically had like a lined notebook, like a little lined notebook. And if my mother or my sisters are watching this right now or later on, they're gonna like laugh. And I would take like a piece of tape and I would just like tape the coins to this little notebook and think that it was going to stay on the page.
Hey, how was it growing up in Danvers? You don't really talk about that.
Oh, well, I grew up, okay, so I was born in Lynn, Massachusetts. And so here's the thing. Oh my goodness. There was this in Lynn, Massachusetts, there was this soap and personal care company in the late 1800s and early 1900s called Lydia Pinkham in Lynn, Massachusetts, and you can look that up. And my great grandmother and my great uncle, they were models for the soap. So I think they're
Oh,
like soap flakes at that point. So my great grandmother, Catherine Egan, no, because Catherine Conway, she was originally Catherine Egan, but then she married my great grandfather. So this is my Irish side story. And I think it was, I have to check with my mom, but I think my grandmother had 10 brothers and sisters that survived. And the little boy was, I think it was Charlie was the boy. And so she was like, she was all dressed up and her hair was up and she had like little pearls and a necklace, and she had like, that like 20th, early 20th century, dress with the ruffly, front and like a brooch or guess or something. I don't know. I have to look for the photo again. And she had like those little granny glasses. And then she's holding like this little kid. And it's like, it's like, all right, we use like this, this soap, these soap flakes to wash. I think it was like to wash clothes or something. All right. So I wasn't there obviously at the time. So that wasn't the way I grew up at all. but yeah, so yeah, I grew up in Peabody, Massachusetts. So it was the North Shore of Boston. It was very suburban neighborhood. I rode my bike a lot. Like ever since I was 4 years old, I was like riding a bicycle, and I hung out with friends who rode bicycles, and that's like pretty much all I would do is, and we had an above ground pool in our backyard. And we had a garden all the time. And it was in a, mostly like Italian stuff. So tomatoes, peppers, eggplants. So I was always around, not only around food, but around very good food. And I think one of the things that I really loved about growing up in my house was that one thing that was like just really super cool to me, and I just remembered in great detail, because my birthday's in September. Yeah, obviously Libra, that's where the Libra comes up. And my dad's birthday is also in September. And that's also when the tomato harvest was. And he would make pizzas. I think he would make them like every Friday or Saturday for like 2 months or something like that. And I loved them because he wouldn't make it with sauce. He would take the dough and he'd roll out the dough, and there'd be like a little bit of olive oil on the dough, and he'd cut up the tomatoes. And I don't know how else to describe this. The tomatoes would be cut up and they had the skin on and everything, and they were just like really juicy. And he would just pick up a tomato and place it in the dough and just give it like this little, put his thumb and give it like this little twist, just like, so it'd be like tomato, put it in the dough, little twist. And I just remember this hand movement, and I was like, this is the thing that makes this pizza so amazing. And it was just so great because you just tasted like the juiciness of the tomato. There was like juiciness, there was meatiness, there was like a little bit of crisping to the skin. There was that little bit of oil, there was a tiny bit of salt, sprinkling of the mousse cheese. Like I'm dying right now just thinking about it. And then like he would put like, we'd have like fresh basil, fresh oregano, and that sort of thing. And this is how we would eat our pizza.
That sounds amazing. And you speak Italian, right, Julia?
A little bit, yeah, not a lot. And I can read and write much better than I can speak. So if I'm not around people that are speaking, like it takes me a month to speak when I'm like, by the time I'm leaving Italy is like, that's when I can talk Italian again.
Oh,
I don't do it enough like at home.
yeah. So, and it's hard because you don't have the accents, like you don't have the accents, but you have the accents. You go up and down, but you don't have it on the writing. So that makes it hard for me to understand what's going on,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's funny because
you have to memorize that. You have to go up and down. You have to go,
Yeah. Yeah. It's true. Like where you put, and then like, my dad, like when and that was the other thing too, because in our family, my dad, my aunts and uncles, my cousins, and they would like all speak Italian. And it was just like, to me, it was just like the most like musical thing in the world, because it was up and down,
Yeah.
like a lilt. And when you're talking like at the end, and it was funny because when I moved out to California when I was like 18 or 19, I just immediately picked up on the way that they spoke in Southern California, because it was like kind of like a similar lilt, right? It was like, it's almost a question at the end. And when you're talking in Italian, it's like this, you get a little bit, but like, it's like that lilt, it's like that little bit at the end where it's like you're imagining like the sentence just kind of like flipping up a little bit in a little curly Q.
I know.
So like language, when they say language arts, I always think of it like language is an art. It's like, it's so beautiful because, any language, there's a rise and a fall, all the time. I don't think there's very many languages where it's like too harsh, you know.
So do you want to, we're about to close. Do you want to tell people like, what should they be preparing for creatively as we go into summer and we're kind of unknown with what's going on?
Yeah. Oh, there's so many things. I mean, I think that there's definitely unknowns, and I think thinking about things creatively is just being outside more and noticing. Again, like last summer it was the same thing where it's just like you noticed life so much more. I felt like so like worried and afraid for people, but then I also like it was so intense how much like I noticed life, like every little bit of life. So I noticed bird songs in the morning. I noticed plants growing, you know, the sea and sky and that sort of thing. So I think like just continuing, like if we're talking about doing like a new normal, like you had talked about there being a new normal. And I think one of the things about having a new normal is just kind of creatively noticing things more. And I think the other thing too um, is speaking up and out more. I was very creative in being vocal over the summer. Oh my goodness, look at how beautiful that is.
So I will embellish it more, but you see I have a little,
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
and then, so I'll embellish it a little bit more, but that's good for
Yeah, I'm so
start.
super excited.
Yeah. So I would just say for your goddess box, like cut out any, I didn't write that down in the thing, but cut out any pictures that come to you. If you, because you should put you should put a representation of yourself. So you should
Yeah.
put a really beautiful picture of yourself if you have one, or print one, and then or a person that represents you.
Yeah. This is gonna be so fun. I had so much fun. I had so much fun tonight.
I had fun too. Thank you for being on here. Thank you for being so flexible and filling in for my guests. As I said, I wanted to, you were on the list, but I'm glad that you could come. Now, I'm sure I'll invite you in for some other things before I
Yeah,
end.
I want to try to do. I want to try to get myself set up and do like a little, belly dance.
Okay.
Like lead a belly dance. Like I really want to be able to like.
Okay.
We did that one time where it's just like, all right, let's take 20 minutes and just like feel what it's like to just like get your body ready and then go into like a free flow movement.
All right. Well, we can do like a divine feminine kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, channeling the divine feminine with belly dancing with Julia. Maria, thank you for coming again. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
And I hope that, like some of the tips about manifestation, do them and come back and tell us what you have manifested. All right. I think that do I have a program on Monday? Do I have Meatless Monday on Monday? I think.
Let me check the calendar.
I'm hoping it's not the last one Monday, but I think it is.
I got to see the one with Ife Michelle.
Meatless Monday is not this upcoming week, but the following week, the 29th.
Okay, great. All right. So next week we have Esther Sang, who is a journalist from Los Angeles, and she writes for Eater and a whole bunch of other publications, and she's going to be really interesting and spicy. We are Facebook friends, and she came on my Facebook page and said some interesting things about when people don't want to read about recipe, the head notes. You guys all want the recipes, but you don't want the head notes, but you don't realize that the way that recipe testers and bloggers get paid is through those notes, and that's why they're long. So I'm sure we'll get hot and spicy. And
Yeah.
we'll have an interesting discussion. You can talk about, if you want to be a writer, like how, you can ask questions about pitching, all of that. So please come back next week. Have a great weekend. Happy spring.
Yay,
Spring this weekend. Happy spring.
Finally
Yes.
getting warm.
Yes, we're going to be going out foraging, pickling
right,
magnolias,
Flowers
and
are blooming.
make lilac sugar and lilac oil. So I'm sure I'll bring some of that on our Wednesdays, because when it gets to be spring, I love to go out and forage and stuff like that. So have a happy Wednesday, rest of it. Thank you all for coming. Thank you, Julia. Thank you, Rose. Thank you, Maria, and anyone else that might be watching. Please like and share with other people that you might find that this benefits. It's so great to hear people say that they watched, even though you might not say, but that you share and that you found value in what we were talking about. And that's what we want. We want to be able to showcase and support and encourage people's dreams. So go
Yay.
co-create. Bye. Thank
Bye.
you.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Thank you.